Chairman, I just said to Flickers, congratulations, commiserations, or what after all that?
Yeah, it was a strange game, wasn't it? It was a strange game. It was one that I think we should have put to bed and not conceded the goals. When you're 3-1 up in a game, you expect us to, hopefully. And when you go to 4-2, then we're hopefully going to close it out there. But we've got a great platform to build on for next season. You know, this is a team that there's a lot of hard work going into it to try and get it to where it is. And you know, we're 10th in the table, and if you'd have said that 2 or 3 months ago, I think we'd have all taken it.
Yeah, I think I must be the only man around who actually thought the club could have a run at the playoffs, and I did get a lot of grief for it, but you have had that grip.
No, you wasn't the only one, I was there as well. I thought the same. I believed in the ability about what we could do and what we could take on, and I think, you know, if you look at the game against York last week, if we'd have beat York, it gives us an outside chance of getting in there, but going back before that, there's a couple of draws where if we'd have picked up the win, we'd have been hopefully pushing to the edge of the playoffs. And the core of the squad that's going forward for next year is quite exciting, really, because the players that we're talking about bringing into the club are exciting players, and the players that we're going to get us out of this division.
Well, and players that were already at the club that you've boxed off are equally exciting, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, people like Pablo Mills, who's been absolutely superb since he's come into the football club. His attitude, he's a winner. To Dale, it hurt him because he doesn't like conceding goals, you know, so it's something there we've wanted to make sure that we recruit and get our business done quickly to make sure we've got a core of the squad. People like Jim McNulty, Andrew Tuck, Craig Jones, all boxed off for next season, and it gives us a real platform for hopefully getting promotion out of this division next year.
I mean, we'll have to, because you've just said it already, haven't you?
I know, I've put it now, that's it. But no, that's the plan. You know, we've designed the team, we've sat down with the coaching staff, we've already done a lot of preparation work for next season. The pitch is going to get relayed on the 5th of May, so the work's going there. We want to have the best pitch in this division because we want to play football. I think you've seen at times this season, I think certainly the Plymouth game was a game where that could have been 7 or 8. We've been absolutely superb, and
could have been there, by the way.
Yeah, it could have been, and the football that we play is an exciting football. You know, we want to keep possession, we want to dominate teams, and there's areas to work on. David and the coaching staff all know that, but the hard work starts now to get ready for next season. And like I say, the top 3 is the target.
Yeah, as a chairman, what areas do you think the boys ought to be working on?
We've got things that we're looking at in terms of wanting to bring a bit more quality up front, because obviously Hallam and Danny Rose have both been loan players this year, and Hallam and Danny have you know, they're going back to the parent clubs, or Danny has gone back to his parent club. So that's an area that we'll need to strengthen, certainly. We're probably going to look at strengthening midfield as well, and there's 1 or 2 other key areas that we think we can hopefully develop on to get that quality, to make sure that we're not fighting in the playoffs.
I mean, that loan market is one for every I think in League 1 and League 2 it has to be, you know, discovered and used, hasn't it?
It certainly does, yeah. But what we don't want to do is, we've had a lot of loan players this season and a lot of turnover of players, and that's something that I don't want to go through again, because we want to make sure that we get the recruitment right. We've had to rebuild the squad twice really this year. We gave Kevin the opportunity at the start of the season to do that, and realised that after the short period of time it wasn't right, and I think as a board we made the right decision to do the changes around, and I wanted to make sure that I got the right person in, which I certainly feel that I have done.
Yeah, I mean, go on.
And I just feel that with the backroom staff and everything else that we're putting into place here now, there's going to be special times here.
I mean, it is difficult, isn't it? Because I remember your predecessor as chairman, I think it was, might be the manager, no, it was chairman, of saying, you know, we don't want any more loan players because that's suffered for this couple of seasons ago, but it's easier said than done, you know, to get the right players in.
It is, but the good thing that we've got here now is loan players or players are looking to try and come to this club.
Are they? You're getting calls?
We're getting calls now because players are seeing what we're doing, and there's a real excitement by other players, and our phones are ringing. You know, the coaching staff phones are ringing saying, "I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this," and it's quite. Instead of us having to try and convince the player to come here, the players are ringing us saying, "I want to be part of this," because they're seeing what's going on at the club.
So if anyone called Messi calls up, and you get his name.
Yeah, we've had a phone call from Suarez and Messi, but we said no, not at the moment.
Get on the bench.
You get on the bench if you're lucky. But no, we've got some really exciting players that we're talking to at the moment, and that excitement's going to really attract with what plans we've got going for the future. You know, and we wanted to. Our target was to get in the championship in 5 years. That's what we wanted to do. And the first year was a bit about consolidation. You know, we've got to get that stability at the club where it wasn't a boom and bust scenario. And this year we've sorted a lot of issues out that was off the pitch. We've now got to make sure that the structure's right on the pitch, and like I said before, the core strength of them players are going to be with us next season.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the comment. I meant to mention the Flickers and I forgot, which is remiss. I'll mention it next week, mind. Did you see what Chris Ivory said the other week? Yeah. I mean, whether it's right or wrong doesn't bat an iota to me. But if you had to spend that money, if you did spend that money, surely it's worth more than 100,000 to stay in the division anyway, so it's speculate to accumulate. So
I think the difficulty is, I mean, Chris has made his comments, and I think he needs to just concentrate on Torquay United and not about Bury Football Club. You know, we're here to concentrate about what we do as a club and how we go forward, and we don't disclose our business out to other people in terms of what we're doing. We've made sure that we've wanted to stay in this division. That was the main thing, and I think the game against Northampton was a big game for us, because if we hadn't have won that game, we'd have only been a point off Northampton, and the run they've put together, I think ourselves and Northampton are near the top of the form table. You know, they've won again today, and it's they're going to maybe sneak away from not getting relegated. So it's quite important from us to build right and make sure that we had the challenges to get out of this, to stay away from getting relegated this season. Maybe
they're, I probably shouldn't say this, but it's true in my opinion. Maybe it's not the 100,000s, the fact that you're appointing an inexperienced manager, you know, and you've got a lad who's been still young but around the block, and of course Chris Wilder at Northampton. Maybe that's more important. I think, I mean, obviously Chris Hargreaves has taken over a difficult position, but like I said, it's about what we do as Bury Football Club. That's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested about any other club. You know, the one thing that I did is, when the opportunity came up to recruit David, we moved quicker than anybody, and within 24 hours he was going to be our manager, and that just showed of what we had and the plans that we have got going for the future, because we want to play football, we want to dominate teams next season, and we want to play football and win games with a style and the passion the lads that are showing. There's a real togetherness of the players, a real togetherness. It was interesting, we got beat by York, and obviously the season has come to a close in terms of not being able to get in the playoffs, and obviously we wasn't going to get relegated. And I went down to training on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday this week. There's a real buzz about the players, real buzz. There's a real togetherness about them, and it's quite exciting about how they are, and they know that they want to get promotion. That's their target. So it'll be exciting times next year. And I don't think I've mentioned to you, because I mentioned it to you, it's interesting. I've not sat down and added them up. There's a lot of those boys have already had promotion already, more than one in some, and that's got to give them that, you know, the knowledge and know-how. Yeah, it's something that we've looked at when we've done the recruitment side of it, is to know how to handle that situation when you get into there, because, you know, if you're at the top three in this division, you've got a chance of getting promotion. And you look at the sides that were there now, Rochdale and Scunthorpe. They've all had a little bit of a drop of form recently, and you've got to, you know, get over the line, and, you know, clubs are going to do it. It's a tight thing, so we've got to make sure that we build that for next season, to recruit the right players and making sure that, you know, we can they're up for the challenge of getting promoted. Has Flicker's done even better than you thought? I knew what he was about. I knew what he was about. You know, I know how he's passionate and how his style of football was. So that was something that attracted me to him when we obviously wanted to recruit him. So I knew he was going to bring stability, and we never once talked about relegation. You know, in terms of, we never once feared it. We thought that we were always good enough to get out of it, and it was about what Bury Football Club could do, not about anybody else. And he's done superbly well, because he has brought that stability in. You know, he has brought that, where he's got plans for next season. We've got the training facilities already organised for pre-season as well. So all that is being put into place. There's a lot of hard work that's gone into it to make sure we keep in this division for this year. I mean, even the greatest managers in the world, you know, Alex Ferguson, you know, your Ralph Mills and your David Bellions, you know, everybody makes mistakes, and yet he doesn't seem to have made any yet, does he? No, they've all been good. Yeah, he makes some good decisions, and, you know, that was something that we do. We talk a lot, myself and David, and talk about where we can improve, how can we get better, but we always look at everybody to say, right, what can we achieve to be the best, because we want us to be the best. You know, that's how we look at it, and how can we better ourselves. So we're not thinking and we just rest on our laurels and we think, well, that's it, it's now, well, how can we go and improve better, which is why, you know, we've got a real target to get us into the Championship. You wallet a bit light in here, though. Yeah, probably, yeah. There's a bit more. I have to get there up a bit earlier to do the bread run. Just lastly from me, I mean, Craig's probably got something. It's a bit disappointing, I think, what's happened with Forever Bury and the awards night tonight, because it's a big night for them. Yeah, there was, from that, we have no issue with giving Forever Bury. Communication Flickers was saying. Yeah, I think what it was is that obviously we'd done our dinner awards on Thursday.
for everybody wanted to host their awards, we said no problem at all. We gave them the social club, and they were arranging it, as far as I know, with staff within the club to give the awards, and we're more than happy for the players to go there. Obviously some of the management and some of the staff after a game players don't want to be around, and some of them want to shoot off, and it's sometimes a bit difficult for them straight after the game. But we were more than happy for the players to go over, and I think there was no issue there with players going to give the awards, because they're part of the club and the fans of the club. So I think maybe there was a communication issue between that at the time, but there's no issue with players doing awards dinners.
I mean, I think it's a big thing for players to get. I mean, I'd say it's something they'll look back on in years to come with the 50-60. So I believe you've offered them some tickets for Thursday.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Can they go and just do extra awards?
100%. I think that was offered to them as well, so that they could come there and give awards there. Yeah, do them there and make it as a team event, and not as an individualised, and do it and hopefully get because all the players and everybody has looking to attend. So we've got we want to work with the fans, and we're not isolating for everybody. We want to work with them, and we've made several approaches to do that. And it's several approaches that we've done to give them part of the club, that to get involved in things. But from our position is that if players are there to give awards, it's sometimes just a bit of a difficult. I just think it wasn't probably organised properly.
Okay. Sorry, I waited for a while just to sort of ask you this silly question, really. But when you arrived, clearly you had a huge to-do list.
Yes.
What's still on that to-do list?
There's still quite a bit, Craig, in terms of a lot of it was to get the things right off the pitch. Because if we hadn't have done that, it doesn't matter what we'd have invested into the pitch, it wouldn't have been right. If we'd have gone and said there's a budget there to recruit players, we certainly wouldn't have been able to get that right. It was a key thing to get things right off the pitch. Some of the contracts that we entered into from a commercial angle just wasn't beneficial for the football club. So we've had to change a lot of things around, sponsorship, advertising, commercial areas, because the club wasn't earning any money really in terms of what it does. There needed to be an injection to get that right and to get the creditors paid off, and that was something that we've had to do, which thankfully we've done. We're on top of things. We know where we're at. We know how we're moving forward. But the big thing obviously now was to build the right squad to get us sustainability in this division, and we probably built our squad twice really, which is frustrating. It's been obviously costly. I think David said on a number of occasions that the previous boards or things like that wouldn't have probably backed that situation when he's coming to them to say, I need to get another 2 loan players to get a bit more quality up front. It could have been frustrating, because I could have said no, because we got rid of a lot of players in January as well, and that's all cost money. It all cost money. But we did it because we backed him. We wanted to back him, and we wanted to show that support to make sure that we stayed in this division, and obviously to kick on for next year.